Hello, gamers. How's everybody doing? Happy Watcher launch day, okay? Woo-hoo-hoo. Listen, okay, this is, this is the Rain World anniversary stream, which is also our Rain World Watcher launch stream. Obviously I'm Buddy. I'm excited to talk with you guys, but I have brought a ton of friends to the chat, I guess, today. So we have assembled the big, as much of the development team behind the Watcher as we can to take a look at some of the art that you guys have been putting together for Art Month, and then in the back half of this stream, we will be talking a little bit about the Watcher. But first, I just want to warn people: there are going to be no spoilers. There's going to be no spoilers in the chat. We really, really, really want you guys to experience the Watcher with fresh eyes, okay? See all of the wonder, all of the little secrets that we've sort of hidden in here for yourselves. So if you are worried about spoilers, this is me reassuring you that we're gonna be a little ginger, okay? We're gonna be a little gentle with some of what we have to say. So, yeah.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Who are we?
Let's go through really quickly in the chat. Starting with, so obviously a man who needs very little introduction, but starting with Andrew and then going down from there. Andrew, do you want to just introduce yourself for any of the new Rain World fans who might not know, exactly what you're bringing to Rain World?
Sounds good. Hello, I am Andrew. I was one of the lead developers for Downpour and one of the developers for Watcher as well. And yeah, I'm happy to be here to celebrate this very eventful day.
Okay. Also, I see people saying Mike is very quiet. That's totally fine. I can adjust that on my end to help make Andrew a little bit louder. Okay, Cap'n, would you like to introduce yourself to the stream?
Oh, sure. Hello, everyone. My name's Cap'n. I did level design on Downpour and Watcher and some like concept art stuff. And I'm so excited to be here. Oh man.
Listen, I'm excited for you to be here too.
We're excited to have you.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Fishnoid, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello. I'm one of the new Regen modders brought on to the Watcher team. I'm really excited for this release date. It's finally happening.
It is finally happening. Yeah, after quite a long time. Kiporo, can you introduce yourself to the chat?
Hey everyone, how's it going? Kiporo here. Glad to be part of the Watchers release party. Super exciting. Been doing a lot of good level design and some audio work for the project, and I think we've got something really special here. So excited and welcome all of you. Can't wait for this thing to drop.
Yeah, me too. Me Mouse. I feel like I don't know how to pronounce your name. Is that how you want me to?
You got it right.
Okay, good.
Hi, I'm Dell. I've done art for Rain World. And I've done a good few things on Watcher and the official game. So wow.
Yeah, wow.
Dell is let's be real here. Dell is the origin of the slug cat that we know and love in terms of the illustration work. She's the creative genius behind the sort of dreamy ambiance. Dell's a legend.
True. The key art, which I think of as like the most important, when I feel like I really understood the Watcher when I first saw the key art and the ripples and all of that. And so, yeah.
Oh, you guys, thanks.
Absolutely. Of course.
So obviously everybody in the chat knows who you are, James, but you also have a special guest with you.
Yeah, I got a special guest. We got Lydia over here.
Hi, I'm Lydia.
Lydia's always in the Lydia comes to all the
every year Lydia gets to come hang out and take a look at some of the Art Month stuff. Rat, would you like to introduce yourself to the stream?
Hello, I am Rat. I've been doing a lot of the creature work in this DLC, and it's really great to be here. And yeah.
Okay.
Great
And then
to have you.
obviously Rake, the chat should know who you are because you have such a history, but would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello, I'm Rick. I still do make mods for Rain World, and I'm also a level designer on the Watcher team, and it was just like an absolute pleasure. I'm really excited for what we cooked up here.
Me
Pleasure having
Oh,
you. It was
too.
awesome.
Yeah.
Can't wait to show everybody.
Okay, so you guys know the rules if you've been to any of our previous live streams, but for those of you who don't know, we make a little museum every year out of a bunch of sort of let me take a little step back here, out of a bunch of some of the pieces that we selected from artists in the community, and we're just going to go through and take a look at some of this stuff because honestly, I think that the art that comes through from Rain World Art Month is just so incredible, and the amount of it that we get every single year, it just keeps going. It just keeps going up. We have cracked 10,000 individual pieces for this year's Rain World Art Month, which is a new milestone. So thank you so much, everybody, for participating. Let's take a look. One of the first one, obviously, you can see is noodle flies. We have some of our noodle fly pieces. I think this one, the first time I saw it, I burst out laughing because I was just like, yes, absolutely, right? A ramen bowl.
Delicious.
Got some blue fruits cut up in there too. Just
Yum, yum.
Yeah.
extra
Loving
protein.
the food art. Loving it.
And then also the karma symbol, I just think that stuff is great. Noodle flies also have, I feel like it's a really interesting thing in order to make something fun out of the individual creatures. And noodle flies would be a really interesting one just because they have this just unique kind of design. You can do these, like this one I like a lot because of how coiled up it is, right? And it just allows for interesting shapes, different stuff compared to sort of the plump slug cats.
Nice silhouettes.
Yeah. This is maybe the most brutal of the.
What? I feel like that some days,
Yeah, yeah, exactly. No, I'm so sorry, chat. Listen, yeah.
The blur in it is great.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. This so as we're moving into some of our next prompts, this one is really nice because of the bubbles, right? You can see the bubbles sort of underwater.
What prompt was this?
I feel like this had to be bubble fruit. It had to be because I think that's what they're eating.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know if this one is noodle. Is this also a noodle fly? Because you can see there's the proboscis.
I think the second was swim.
Oh,
Yeah,
swim. Okay.
Honestly, let me bring that up in a window so we have the list.
That's a really good idea. I wish I had thought of it. Yeah, I like this one. I like this one quite a lot, especially like having kind of the fan frame and the splash. This is really clever. This is the kind of thing that I would go really insane for.
Very unique alignment on that one.
Yeah.
This is so cute. I love that. This little terrarium.
Yeah. Especially because it's 3D art. This is really neat. I always love to see it when folks are applying kind of different art styles and finding a different way, right? Oh, Woodley Doodley in the chat. That's my 3D render. Honor to be here. Listen, I'm honored that you made this for us. I think this looks great.
This looks like one of those, those gelatin cakes.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like a gelatin.
Yes. Yeah, like my aunt would bring to like Christmas or something.
Absolutely. Oh, I love that rivulet right there. That's so cute.
Yes.
The eyes are so perfect.
Oh, and like the little aqua peat coming up from below in that one.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah. Oh, I didn't even see that originally.
Ooh, I
Yeah.
didn't catch that either.
That's great. That's some real what's it called? The like thalassophobia or
Oh,
something.
yeah.
Yeah, like being afraid of the deep ocean. This one is definitely after my own heart. I feel like the third one was or not the third one, but
Pole plants.
this is pole plants.
Oh,
Yeah.
pole plants.
Have we done a pole plant prompt before? Whoa, pole plant
I don't
plot.
think so. I will ruin a little bit of the spoilers. So the way that we do the prompts in the back end is we have like 150 different topics, and then we just throw it through a random number generator to figure out sort of what the prompts are. And sometimes we will manually, like move stuff around. If there's like two things that are too close to each other, like 2 days in a row, I'll swap those around, kind of thing. But there are prompts for Rain World Art Month that we have never seen before. So
I love pole plants though. I mean, I think it's cool because it's like to see artists, like actual artists' interpretations of this stuff is so wild.
Yes.
I like the parallels in this one.
yeah, me too.
It's just so fluffy.
Oh man, I love seeing
man.
like the different ways people interpret the level geometry, like in 3D.
Yeah.
Because there's like Rain World, it's kind of like a pseudo 3D thing, but there's not really a whole like you do have to do a lot of legwork to kind of try and figure out how this space would actually reasonably exist, and it's just so interesting seeing how people
Yeah, and you could also
approach that differently.
frame the camera. So like this one, the camera is on the ground looking up, and you just see like that. You wouldn't be able to in the game move the camera like this, right?
Yeah.
But in art you can, and I think that's really
There's
awesome.
a lot of interesting camera work for the drop wig specifically. It was great.
Look at this.
Terrifying.
Ooh, look, I didn't notice we had a watcher in that one.
Oh, we have
Watcher
a
cameo.
Oh yeah, watch your
Oh,
cameo.
yeah.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
He's watching us.
This is honestly, this
man.
is a really great,
Aw,
especially
man.
because like one of the things that I think of is very important to the watcher is the reversed silhouette of the, sort of the white eyes, the big white eyes. And they kind of have this, you can see it here with this little line of blue underneath, this glow to them, which I'm really into.
Like chromatic abrasion.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
That was Dell.
Yeah. Little
That's
bit.
like that's like kind of one of your signatures.
Yeah. I did it manually for the watcher though.
Oh, even
The
better.
watcher's eyes.
Very cool.
Oh man.
It's the true apex predator.
Yeah. That's a really great interpretation of Pole Plant 2, actually, to have tricked a red lizard to be speared and eaten. That's that's a very classic sort of like Rain World feel. This was great. This is pixel art. We have this is our first pixel art.
Love it.
Yeah, for Dropway.
That's some serious dithering. Love that.
Yeah.
Del, do you think that was manually done?
I'm not the biggest pixel art maker, but I could see that being manually done.
Yeah, I could see it too. That looks awesome.
This one is also really
great.
crazy camera angle.
We got to get this James Barrow.
Yeah.
This is for This is for Rain World 14, where the protagonist is a drop wig.
Yeah, playable drop wigs when.
Surrounded. Looks like it's surrounded.
Yeah.
I love how like fluffy they draw the grass and foliage.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's I definitely think a big sort of hallmark for James's style is I don't know, that painted kind of wet on wet, like oil paint sort of, style to it.
I love these.
Oh, I think I know what it is. I think it's like Moon's room, and then Moon is just buried in a pile of gold. which the slughead has gifted to her.
I also
see the light
didn't super
coming
get
from
it.
the
Yeah.
room. I think because there is a bunch of light that comes from that room when you're moving towards it.
Yeah, I feel like a very like symbolic representation of the room.
Just with the sparkles, because you see the sparkles in the back of the wall, or the sun, a bit of sunshine.
Yeah.
Also, there's the white moths that are in there as well that get like pick up the illumination.
Yes.
Yeah, I think like down here, these details are really great.
It's either a pot of
really nice,
gold or a crack in the wall with light leaking through.
You ever think about how many holes have to line up in Moon's superstructure for the light to get into her iterator room?
You know, I didn't until right this second.
Oh no.
Some more pole plants. I do love the idea of a potted pole plant though. That's really great.
Yeah, that's funny. Like a little shop of horrors vibes.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, what do we got here?
I think this was Dropwig. So if you look up here, there's the
Oh,
tiniest silhouette. I feel like I'm in the, yeah, right? It's in the beginning of the game where they make you do the little slider until you can barely see it. It's like, do the slider until you can barely see the Dropwig. Yeah.
That's
amazing.
awesome. Like the roots on the ceiling, you gotta watch how it goes. Barely see them.
Drop the treat. Lantern.
Okay, so yeah, this is more for looks to the moon.
Oh yeah, that's the classic right there.
Yeah.
All the elements on the side in the different timelines.
That's really cool.
Jellyfish.
Jellyfish? It's a big
This one's
jellyfish,
really cool.
right?
I really like the light coming from above.
Yeah, and like
Just
the
the
way it
scribbles.
casts
Really
the
good.
shadow down across everything,
Mhm.
that's really beautiful.
Oh, it's so stylish.
A little
with
heart.
the,
It's got a little heart.
Yeah. Oh
So
yeah.
I don't want to know about that heart. That's giving me anxiety.
Yeah. Okay, I'm sorry. I feel like I am not moving. I'm not moving fast enough. Let me back up a second,
it's fine.
and we can see some. We could see a little bit of the big wall.
Big picture.
This one is really great. This is like a this is for expedition.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's great.
I love this too because they look sort of like a pine marten.
That's true.
It's like a pine marten JRPG illustration. It's beautiful.
Love the clouds.
Oh, I do love the iterator in the background.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't catch that. That's amazing.
Oh, I didn't even. Yeah, I also didn't even catch that. That's perfect.
That makes it almost like a fantasy.
I know. Yeah, JRPG is the right is sort of the right vibe for it.
That's cool.
Here's another one with pixel art for. Oh, this one is for the rot. Okay. I thought it was
Danger. Pebbles, no.
Is this kind of like the Sistine Chapel, where it's like the
I
man
think
and
so.
God that's
Yeah,
sort of
it's
like-
the God and Adam.
reaching out.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
We have another one for jellyfish.
Yeah.
This looks sick. This almost looks like Rivulet's got like a microphone, and they're like
karaoke.
they got like
Jellyfish.
The spotlight on them.
bisexual lighting and the.
You know,
Love it.
Yeah, that's relatable.
Wait, what does
how
it
big
say?
they draw the
Oh,
eyes.
what is it? Yeah. Oh, I see on the side.
Is that the artist's name?
Yeah, it's the artist name, Bispanin.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
So here we have a watcher, laying on the top of a jellyfish. That's cute.
Just chilling.
Watching the clouds go by.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wait, this one to the left, the one that we're.
To the left.
To the left.
This one?
Down to the bottom.
Down at the bottom, this one?
With Gourmand.
Oh, here we
That
go.
one.
I see, I see. This is looks to the moon.
Love
Oh,
it.
it's the little like parkour room. With
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
waterfalls. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's perfect. I should show this to my grandmother would really love that one. She's a big Picasso fan, and Salvador Dali, and would really love the line work on there.
Ooh.
Oh, whoa.
This one is insane.
Okay, so which prompt is this? This must be Echoes.
Echoes.
9. That's incredible. Oh, it says it at the top.
Yep.
From the I just really
It's
have to. Do I have to like bleep the name? Iterator sex. Congratulations, Iterator Sex, on making it into the Rain World Art Month Museum. It's pretty funny.
Social media moment.
Yeah, very much so. Very much so. Wow, this one is incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're all just like staring.
Yeah. I love this one.
This one's
Yeah.
cool. There's more expedition. Oh wow, the detail on this is so intense.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the doodles.
Yeah.
There's a lot. It's like, is there a comic strip in here? Like, I feel like there's hidden meanings. Are there wind chimes in
the
these?
Expeditions.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are the expeditions, but I think it's also like the carvings in the tree that are
Yeah, the whole story.
Which is awesome.
It makes it look like a conspiracy board or something, you know. Okay, this was one of our famously the most prompts we have ever received in a day was for Gourmand 2 years ago. We had an absolutely colossal amount because it was the first for the downpour season of Rain World Art Month in 2023.
Gourmand was eating good.
Yeah.
They built the stone effigy of Gourmand there.
Yeah, counting the tails of Gourmand.
This is such a great little like smug face. I feel like I want this as like a Discord emote when somebody, like posts something.
Dexter's lab.
And here we have.
Yeah, exactly.
Little monocle and everything.
Oh man, this is a depressing one. This is more for the rot.
Yeah.
And watching.
Oh yeah, we got some watching happening as well.
Oh, true. Yeah.
I appreciate how people...
I remember when we first added the pearl, the music pearl that Pebbles uses. Is that spoilers? Can I talk about downpour spoilers? Oh man,
we can talk about downpour spoilers. Yeah, listen, it's been 2 years, okay, gamers. All right, you had your chance.
Spoilers ahead.
It was so depressing. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
It was such a good idea.
It was a great moment.
My heart. Aw.
This is very cute. Tamed lizard.
The caramel? That's a trick right there, taming the caramels. I know we're all waiting for this Gourmand one down in the bottom right.
Yeah, this one is like the most iconic.
So
I feel like if I could show someone like who has never seen Rain World the Gourmand, I would want to show them this piece.
This needs to be on a t-shirt.
I love it. Yeah.
On a poster.
Yeah.
Or no, a bib. This needs to be on a bib.
Yeah. Like an apron. Yeah, like,
An apron, a chef apron.
That's amazing. Honestly, my favorite part of this is like the glistening sort of details. So with this sort of light work up top here and then on the ham as well. I think that's amazing. Yeah. That's so good.
I love the grilled neuron flies.
That mushroom stew, you're gonna have a bad time if you drink that.
Yeah, for real.
Or a good time.
Yeah, that's true.
Honestly, doing the Rot and Gourmand next to each other is really giving me some whiplash, because then we go into
Yeah.
another one with the Rot. It's like, okay.
Most depressing thing
Yeah,
possible.
bring the vibes down.
This is great. I mean, the mood
Literally.
for that is spot on.
Yeah. Listen, they don't call it the
Sweet.
Rot because it's because
There was a
it's
Sky Islands one that we.
oh, there's one. Oh, I'm sorry.
Lost
Did we
everything.
miss one? One second. Let me
The rot has to eat too.
do.
Up at the top, next to the echo.
Up at the top. Oh, yes, you're right. Here we go.
Oh yeah.
Rainbow.
This little rainbow like slug cat. I just think from the lighting, but it has that sort of rainbow effect.
Okay, the Easter egg.
Isn't there a rainbow slug cat for Expedition?
Yeah, Expedition
Little
has an
secret?
Easter egg.
Oh!
that has the Slug Cat
Yeah,
rainbow.
you're right.
Expedition.
Okay. I want to take a little bit of time over into this room. Boop boop boop. We have to move quick, okay, gamers, because we have to get to this one, which is so clearly my ethos, okay? in art. All right. We have to get some Artificer in there.
Ooh.
But first.
Oh, that's gorgeous. Oh my god.
That's amazing.
Oh, yeah, I love that one.
Yeah.
I remember seeing this one when it went up.
The blue and the green makes it look really I'm sorry, the red and the green makes it look really beautiful, I think. Like the contrast in those colors.
Neuron eyes.
This prompt, I remember this prompt was in there from Downpour. It was new lizards. And Riv was like, do you think that they're going to think Watcher stuff? And I was like, they can think whatever they want. We put the prompt in the thing. Let's set it live. They could figure out what new lizards means.
I like how some people just were like, I'm going to make up my own lizards because that's a new
Those are
lizard.
great.
Yeah,
Those are
exactly.
great.
A lot of those are cool.
Ooh.
More General Systems bus. Yeah, look at that.
Nice.
This is for 8-bit Rain World concept art.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I always love the swarms with the neurons.
Oh, here we have a special guest from Kelosita.
Kelosita!
There she is.
Incredible.
Oh, gorgeous.
Yeah.
Not only has Kelosita been keeping up with all of the art prompts, but she's also been doing art for the Watcher as well. I don't know how she's able to do both.
She's multitasking.
Some more from General Systems Bus.
Love this.
Oh, that's clever. It's like the Void Sea illustration with all the slug cats swimming.
I love this.
All them moving in one direction.
Oh man, we were talking about
Ooh.
perspective earlier with the drop wigs. Here's some perspective for you.
Oh yeah, I love this. I think you could pinpoint the exact room that they used this reference for this.
Yeah.
But just seeing it from a different angle is wonderful.
Scurbs. Shout out.
Yeah. Well, this one won't even let me look down, but we can make it nice and big.
That one almost
Love
looks
that.
like a screenshot.
Yeah.
So well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lizards.
Ooh. Aw,
Nice.
got all of them in there.
There's a jetfish.
The texture here is really great. Like the little individual sort of like bumps. I love that.
Great personality on all the lizards too, because that's something that we usually don't get. Usually a lizard is just like a toothy maw, but this we got some really good personality.
Yeah, I
That
love the little strawberry
personality.
licking a rock.
I'm a huge fan. This one I'm less of a huge fan of. Okay, famously my dislike of scavengers and desiring to kill them.
Scavengers
Oh, come
are
on.
great.
Zero V is a huge scavenger, like #1 scavenger fan.
Yeah, true. That is very true.
And their art is amazing for
Great.
those.
This is fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
especially because like the interpretations for like this the scav body and the way the scavs move is something I really love to see in art like this.
Oh, and if you look closely, you can actually tell what the 4 regions are in that image.
Oh,
Like
yeah,
the
definitely.
nomadic
Oh
region.
yeah, I didn't even think about that.
So it's farm-arrays, outskirts industrial complex, and then shaded citadel.
Awesome.
Love it.
I think the
Master recommendations.
the yellow spear just like instantly saint ascends you.
Ooh, all right, 30 minutes till Watcher launch, guys.
Okay, give me just 1 second. You guys can take a look at this other piece from
Another
Kelesita,
pizza.
and I'm gonna go see
Fantastic.
if our special guest is ready.
This one is really good because it's like a lot of the early inspiration for the lizards were sort of like Mayan and Aztec art, and I think this really kind of leans into that.
Yeah, that's perfect.
So many lizards stuffed into one place.
So cool.
And ninjas there too. In
Okay.
the train lizard's mouth.
You got the train below.
No.
Oh yeah, I didn't even
no.
see this. No,
And
in
above.
the mouths. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I am bringing on. Listen, I'm bringing on a special guest. My good friend, Das Zombies. Welcome to the chat, buddy. How you doing?
Whoa, hello. Sorry, I haven't. Sorry about that. I haven't like done a. I haven't like done like introduction for all of y'all yet, but allow me to do it.
We did
Our final
introductions
guest is
first.
gonna be. Our final guest is gonna be the dev team of the Watcher. So welcome everyone.
Thank you.
What's going on here?
We are
Yes.
simultaneously on Das Zombies stream, just as Das Zombies comes to our stream. So, folks, we have some. We wanted to talk a little bit about the development of the Watcher. Das Zombies. I'm sure you guys. Yeah, everybody in the chat, everybody in my chat is going wild for you, buddy. We wanted to give you an opportunity to sort of ask some of the devs some questions. Again, I want to reiterate that we're not spoiling anything today. We really want you to experience the Watcher with very fresh eyes, is what I would say. But yeah, we wanted to give that opportunity. So I know you have a number of questions that you have prepared for us. So while we take a look at some more of the museum, if you wanna ask the devs from the Watcher a little bit about what that experience was like, you can feel free.
Of course, it'd be my honor. I suppose the first question that I have for all of you is, in general, going into Watcher with the task of evolving Rainworld and potentially Downpour from its to evolve it from what it was before. What was your goal, I suppose? Like, how did you all seek to evolve the base game in Downpour going into the next DLC?
So I'll take lead on this one. I'm James. I'm one of the original developers of Rainworld. And so when we were developing the original Rainworld, we had tons of ideas, and we worked for around 10 years on the project, and not all of them made it into the final cut. So a lot of the themes and a lot of the ideas and a lot of the mechanics that went into the Watcher were things that had already been sort of like planned, and the groundwork had been laid for them in a narrative sense in the original game. So for me, at least, Watcher was sort of an opportunity to kind of like tie in all of these loose threads that had kind of been like floating around all these years, and get to work with all of these extremely talented new Rainworld developers and create something both in line with the original, but also new and fresh and taking it in new directions.
Okay, so it was mostly about continuing ideas that you already had as opposed to injecting new ones, if I'm hearing that correctly?
No, not at all.
Okay.
There's a lot of new ideas, and then there's a lot of original ideas as well. if that makes sense.
So you, for instance,
I-
Andrew, you had a huge hand in sort of sculpting things. What was it like moving from Downpour to the Watcher for you, Andrew?
Yeah, it's really interesting. It's definitely a very different, I guess, creative direction on the Watcher. It's very interesting. I think for Downpour, it was a lot of my own ideas, and then for Watcher, it was kind of taking a lot of other people's ideas and just like sculpting it all together. So it's like it was cool getting to work from someone else's point of view, like creative direction.
Excellent. In in that case, we can move on to the next question. How has the experience of developing the Watcher been? Have any major moments stood out?
I mean, it's been awesome. This whole group has been like, it's just so fun working with people that are so steeped in Rain World. Like, I think, I mean, having worked on other games, it's always kind of a challenge to sort of like align people with your vision on something. But coming into the Watcher, you don't have to explain anything to anybody. Like, everybody's been in the game 10,000 hours. So like every time someone suggests an idea, it's spot on. Every time someone like pitches a direction, you're like, yeah, this is it. And I think that's a really unique thing that like is rare in the game sphere and in the art sphere in general.
You know, with a lot of like group projects in general, I have my own projects that I'm leading, but like with like the task of it is sort of, it's really rare to get a bunch of people, let alone one person who like perfectly understands the original vision and vibes. And Rainworld in particular has some very unique and very specific vibes. So I'm very glad to hear that the team in general is a group of people that were like that understood and continue to understand the actual intentions of the original creation.
It's
100%.
Oh, sorry. It's
No, please go ahead.
very interesting seeing like, cause so I'm sorry, I'm Cap'n. I was a developer on Downpour. And it's really interesting seeing a very different perspective on the Rain World lore because as you all probably know, Downpour was a mod before it was a before it kind of got integrated into um, the main game as a DLC. And so working with James has been so interesting because he'll like casually mention some like earth-shattering lore concept and then just not elaborate on it. And it's really funny seeing like how much of a different perspective he has on it. And it's like a lot of it too is we tried to be very kind of careful with Downpour and sticking to the vanilla text, which is why it's so focused on the iterators with its story. And so just seeing kind of a very fresh vision of the Rain world, it's wonderful, honestly.
Yeah, and even with the Watcher, like it was a lot of modders and people from the community working on it. So I mean, I think that's kind of cool because we're all big fans of Rain World. We've all played the game for a long time. We're all very passionate about the game. So I think it's cool to see expansions created by people with that kind of deep knowledge and deep, I guess. We're all fans of the game, basically. It's cool to see content made by people who have that kind of connection to the game.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I also like one of my favorite moments of development were just those brainstorming sessions we had where, one person was to pitch an idea, the person would add on to it, and the third person would revise it, and it just kind of a lot of just talking, discussing, and kind of coming up with some really awesome stuff. The collaboration that we not, might have not made alone.
And sort of add on to like how we actually made things. Like James had this had some like grand ideas and like specific moments he wanted to include, but he was like very open to new ideas. I remember the very first thing he told us to do was just like spitball, just like whatever you think is cool. Let's see how that could fit in. And that way we all like could I guess like work really well together because we all had a say in what we could include.
Yeah, we actually did a lot of really quick iteration on some interesting ideas that specific people pitched, and we were able to take some new mechanics pretty far. And it's really cool to see how they were utilized, and how they interact with other aspects of the game that have been added in. One of my favorite moments was, sometimes rain world creatures can be a little interesting, and sometimes coding or something was a bit off. So we had a creature that kind of converted itself into a ballistic missile, and we had to address that because it's very shocking.
Yeah, that's right.
Shout out Miles.
Yeah.
Okay, so the very next question is very specifically for James. Considering you were there for the original base game, and now that Rain World has soon to be 2 DLCs, how is the experience of developing for Rain World like? Less as in, obviously you're working with more people now, but with the actual core concepts of the game, have they changed at all after the full release of the base game?
That's interesting. I mean, I think it's answering this question is sort of similar to the last one, where it was like we had done so much groundwork for the original Rain World. We had so many sort of mechanics that kind of like implied other mechanics, and we had world building that imply other world building. That I kind of feel like I could just keep going sort of forever. I don't want to, but it's just like a lot of it is just continuing on the roads that we built for the original game. And I think that's kind of why it's sort of easy to collaborate with people who were in the mod scene and artists, is because that vision that UR had was just so clear that we can kind of just like keep in this rain world and everything sort of makes sense for the most part.
I see. Okay. So, trying to get through this at least with I don't want to. I could talk with y'all forever, but I do. But I'm aware that is that I do
in
not have an
19
endless
minutes,
segment.
I have a feeling
Yeah,
that
no.
the population of this stream is going to reach 0. So
Perhaps, yeah. Don't worry, I'm not planning on going that long. So for the rest of the people on the team, how has the transition to suddenly working on official Rain World content been, especially if you were just a modder beforehand?
I'd say it's very easy. Like it's pretty much the same actually as before. There's not really much difference in the tools we do and such. And this game is built so strangely in Unity that you pretty much only do stuff through the code for it. So it's pretty much the same as when I was modding it.
Yeah, and I would say like, a lot of modders have previous experience working with other modders, collaboration between people with different skills, working on small group projects, region jams, all kinds of things. I think, it's kind of one of the great things about the modding community is that it's very collaborative and, everyone has different talents that they bring to the table. And so while, this was to a different scale and definitely, there were some things that are quite different, I think a lot of that previous experience modding the game also came in handy here, not just like the actual game dev stuff.
Oh, one thing that really surprised me, I guess, from more Slugcat's 5-year development timeline is just how quickly everything kind of wrapped up. Like I remember there was a time when, I was working on something and then I checked back in and like an entire region was just finished and it's like, oh my gosh, how did you do this?
Yeah.
No, honestly, the timeline was pretty tight for this, and considering like original Rain World had like a 12-year development cycle, more Slugcats and Downpour had like a 5-year development cycle. The fact that we could like put together what we were able to put together for the Watcher is like insane. Like I had much lower expectations for it, but everyone was just primed and ready to go and like could complete things quickly. And man, I'm blown away.
I was
Kudos to
constantly
you guys.
impressed by seeing everyone's work every week. Just got the new rooms, new creatures, little fixes here and there.
Yeah, like I wasn't on the in-game dev side, but when I go and roll through the Discord and see people's progress, just scrolling back through messages, and it's like, whoa, these people are crazy. But it's been really, really, really cool and really, really interesting watching the whole development process.
This was a big deal for me for the trailer that you guys haven't seen but will see in 15 minutes, okay? Because I was talking with James about it, and I was like, hey, I was looking for a reference for something, and James was just like, just take a look at the Discord. And once I was able to join the special Discord, okay, and see how quickly the progress was being sort of made, and the iteration that went into, you know, the individual creatures and the rooms and the regions and all of the little details getting added just like piece by piece, that's really a magical kind of experience, I think.
Yeah, definitely. You know, what's interesting is it felt like it had its own momentum. Like once we got things going, it was just like everyone was pushing the ball and just like flew. Love it. And I look forward to the next one.
There's gonna be another one. My
Imagine.
career stays alive. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. Into the more into the less deep questions. What is everybody's favorite Rain World region?
Shaded Citadels.
That's a wild
favorite.
answer.
Yeah, that's a wild answer.
It's like saying your favorite candy is licorice. You know, like
I too love
What's your
Shaded
favorite
Citadel. It's my favorite.
Is that right?
There's so many.
That's
I love
incredible.
Shaded.
There's dozens of you. Dozens.
But I'm just going off of aesthetic.
Oh, no, like I remember when I first went through Shaded, I was terrified and I like rushed through it really quickly. And then on my second or third playthrough, I stopped. You know, I smelled the roses, and I just I vibed through Shaded, and like the music is perfect.
so
The
mood.
lantern mice are beautiful. Oh my gosh, it's just it's a wonderful. The Miros birds are there. It's wonderful, yeah.
It's so mood. I love Shaded. I love Shaded.
I actually think the first time I went through Shaded was on stream. I think it was on this stream maybe a year ago or so. Maybe no, it would have been 2 years ago. It would have been during the it actually would have been 3 years ago because it would when we were promoting Downpour, and I think I had just eaten the neurons. And I didn't know what I was doing, and I had accidentally eaten the neuron, so I had a very different first time experience in Shaded because I had the glow because the chat encouraged me to do terrible things. Okay,
As they do.
yeah.
I would say like my favorite region is definitely Industrial Complex. It's I think it's just like it really encapsulates some of that early game, lost in a maze kind of feeling, and like everyone has that really awesome experience of leaving outskirts, everything's going well, and then a Voltrik just comes down and kills you, 2 seconds after the room, and you're just like, oh, well, kind of really gets you ready for the rest of the game, lets you know that things are going to be different. And it's just like an amazing region design-wise.
It really is like a melting pot of everything that Rain World has to offer.
Industrial Complex is my favorite too, and it was also pretty much my home when I was first playing the game because I managed to get into there, and then I sat there learning the basics there, and there's kind of a little bit of every kind of room in that place, so it was a nice area to live at.
Andrew, can I ask what your favorite region is, buddy?
If we're including Downpour regions, I really like Outer Expanse.
Okay.
For the base game regions, probably Sky Islands. I think that it has a really cool vibe.
I'm glad I think Sky Islands is also probably my favorite from the base region. It just has such evocative sort of like, every room is a vista,
Sky Island.
That's great. It's one of my favorites too.
That was like the last room I discovered.
Garbage wastes.
Oh, shout out Garbage Wastes.
Yeah,
Thanks,
Garbage Waste is probably where I spent the most time because I just died so much, which was also on the stream 2 or 3 years ago.
So I gotta say, my favorite region is in The Watcher.
Whoa! Oh,
I mean, as like the person who did the original regions, it's so great to see like how far these region artists have been able to take the toolkit and like expand on it. And so I'm like, when I'm testing the Watcher, I'm just like, it's the first time I've gotten to play Rain World. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Mm.
Downpour had a lot of things that were sort of like based off of sort of the environments of the original game. And the Watcher, a lot of it is just like really fresh stuff, and it's awesome to be able to explore that for the first time for me. I get to be a fan.
My personal favorite, I mentioned it. Base game is the exterior because the wall makes
Yeah, the wall is really good.
It's
yeah,
just perfect.
that one's my favorite too.
I know. In Downpour, it's Undergrowth because I have a personal connection to drainage, and seeing it turn into exactly my type of vibe, with also, in my opinion, some of the smoothest gameplay of any Rainworld content on my favorite Slugcat is like I got like a nice little connection of neurons there that made it hook into my brain like a parasite. Yeah. The next question is in a similar vein. What's your favorite Rainworld song?
Ooh.
I don't know.
I actually,
think,
so funnily enough, I have an answer to this, and it is what we started the stream with. So earlier this week, or maybe last week, I was making the soundtrack previews for The Watcher, and the song "Evening at Peace." I love that song. As soon as I heard it, I was like, "Oh my god!" And I did that thing where I just put it on repeat.
Lydia, what's your favorite track?
Bioengineering's up there.
Bioengineering? Yeah, bioengineering is a big classic, no question.
I'm gonna go old school and say Black Moonlight.
Oh yeah.
Black Moonlight's so good. It's such good background music. I use it for every video.
There's like two really, really good ones. I really like Stargazer. I think it's Stargazer, the one that plays at the top of the wall when you see the Metropolis in the background. That, and I think this one is unnamed, but it's the song that plays as the Void Worm pulls you towards the ending sequence. I think it's called The Ride in the files.
The Ride.
And it's a wondrous song. It's like it feels is sort of the best way to describe it. I don't know, it's so full of an indescribable emotion, and it's wonderful. It completes that whole sequence, I think.
Yeah, that's the best.
I think actually that's the one that has like big staticky waves, right?
Yeah.
I think that's Gold Swim has the big staticky waves, whereas the Ride is more like twinkly.
Okay. Because I remember one of those, Dell, it broke your headphones when I sent it over because it was like so massively over. Do you remember this?
Yes.
That's crazy.
And I was like, okay, maybe I should need to turn this down a bit.
But it was feels.
I'm a big fan of the Captain.
Yeah, that's what's going on.
Kayaba is like really popular, but like just the cool chill beats of going through those tunnels, I think it really sells.
I honestly, I am a deep lover of Kayaba, but I also feel like that's such a basic answer. Do you know what I mean? It's like saying your favorite movie is Star Wars or something, right? Like...
Well, my other favorite one is a new creature track that I wrote, but I can't.
Yeah, can't mention it. Can't mention the spoilers.
Spoilers, okay.
Spoiler alert.
My personal favorite track is Past Echoes, the same one. I don't know if that's just a fan name for it, but it's the one that plays for the Undergrowth Echo in Downpour. It was a cut song, if I recall correctly, beforehand. I think that and Pulse are both tied in my brain because they both just give me a perfect. I've been obsessed with the word evocative because I think it makes me sound smart. But
yeah, I understand that for sure.
It does make you sound
I
smart.
also want to give a shout out
Wow.
to Inticus, my very favorite Rain World song ever, which was not in the game at all, but was part of the teasers from Downpour, is the song Overskog that Inticus made for us, which I think has like 1,000 plays on Spotify just from me, right? Like,
Oh,
man,
yeah,
there's gonna be-
including Downpour stuff. I think Ascent by Progfox is also a wonderful song.
Prog Fox, yeah.
I think it plays in Submerged Superstructure, I believe, and it's just great, like background music.
Shout out. Ooh, look at this one. Guys, 5 minutes.
5 minutes, gamers. Okay, it's gonna happen.
Let me get my last question out of the way, and then I will get out of y'all's hair. But is there anything that you'd like to say to the YouTube audience before the coming of the big release?
I can't wait to see your videos, to be honest.
Yeah.
I've been watching, I've been seeing in and out the various speculation videos and the lore threads and stuff coming out, and I think it's going to be well. I'm going to be watching the Let's Plays. I'm going to be like seeing what the what the new theories are. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, watching people's experiences is pretty much what I've been thinking about for a while. Like, oh, I really want to see how people experience this.
Because this is going to be the first time. Because I mean, Downpour obviously incredible content, incredible amount of content, but a lot of people were sort of aware or familiar with the plots of more Slugcats, etc. So I think this is going to be the first time since release that the entire community is going to be able to experience it at the same time without like anyone having any sort of like advantage in terms of information or knowledge about it. So I think it's going to be fun. We've tried to keep it really tight. We've tried to keep information really tight. We've tried to keep like no one got early send outs of keys or anything like that. So everyone's going to be experiencing it at the same time.
I remember from my Downpour playthrough, one of my biggest reactions that I did was, sorry, something caught my throat. Was specifically for the reveal that we were gonna get to go into Five Pebbles City, because that was something that I was parroting like an idiot for like almost a year before the release of Downpour. Was I need to see Five Pebbles City? I want to go through an iterated Walmart, and knowing that. Even though we didn't get to see the Walmart, unfortunately, unless that's what the House of Braids is, you get to...
There's a level in there. I think it's called Mall in the files. I think it went through like 4 redesigns, so it might not look like much like a mall anymore, but at one point it was supposed to be like a weird iterated
That was the
shop.
original intention? Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
I love
At the
that.
very least, you do get all like the little fun overseer ads when he goes through Metropolis.
Oh yeah, the 5 Pepsi.
Pepsi.
Yeah, the Walmart comes to you.
No, but like, because I had that really good reaction, I'm very excited to see just what like I managed to avoid all spoilers for the Saint ending, all spoilers for Downpour in general, outside of like the gimmicks for it. Like, I didn't even follow MSE before the big release, outside of knowing what the Slugcat powers vaguely were. So everything for Downpour was entirely new for me, and I'm very excited to have that experience again.
Well, I'm glad to report that there are no special powers. There's nothing special or new or interesting in the Watcher, okay? There's, just normal Slugcat. That's it.
He's just Survivor, but inverted. He doesn't even have any gimmicks.
We would never have gimmicks. A character with gimmicks.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just not in your development philosophy.
Okay. With 2 minutes on the clock, I am seeing some stuff about something about Downpour being broken on Steam. Folks have mentioned it in the chat a bunch of times, so I do just want to assure folks that once we get off stream, I am going to take a look into that for you to see if I can get a better answer. But listen, we're coming up on it. it's the dawn of the final minute, for especially for the dev team. You know, is there anything that you want to say to the community before we sign off?
Be patient with us when everything gets janky and broken. We're gonna do our best. We're gonna do our best.
Enjoy.
Enjoy.
Yeah.
Yes. Have fun.
All right, I'm bailing. See you guys later. Peace.
Okay, have a good one. Thank you so much for joining in. Thank you so much to Das Zombies for interviewing us. Thank you to Fishnoid, Rat, Rake, Kaporo, Andrew, Dell, Capin. I really appreciate that that you've come out to the party.
Yeah.
Thank you all for having me. This is a highlight of my career.
See you guys.
Okay, have
Bye,
a good
everyone.
one. Goodbye, gamers.
Have fun.
You
Have fun
enjoy it.
watching.
Good luck.
Have a watch.
Yeah. Hello. For any gamers in the chat, for those of you who have stuck around, I have looked into sort of the DLC issue. It looks like there may be sort of an issue. I'm sorry to jump scare you. I know exactly. It looks like there may be an issue with the way that the DLCs are kind of constructed in the back end. I'm so sorry that I'm going to have to do this, but I am going to have to ask for a little bit of patience while we sort of figure this out. My expectation is that this won't take so long to resolve, and I am so sorry that we are going to have to hold the game for a little bit. But I just wanted to let you guys know what was going on. Keep an eye out on the Rain World Twitter, the Rain World Blue Sky account. We'll also be posting in the Discord whenever we have an update on how the Watcher can come out. I will let you guys know. Okay, thank you so much, everybody. Don't worry, take your time. Listen, I appreciate it, okay? I appreciate you watching the view count plummet. Yeah, exactly. Listen, tell anybody that we're just like holding on to things until we just get this issue sorted out to make sure that Downpour, Downpour is fully playable. So, yeah. Okay, goodbye. For this time, for real, goodbye. Thank you so much.